At this point, our coding agent is pretty well rounded, but we do have this situation where every time we want to create a new tool or teach it a thing, we have to write it. So I'm going to take a note from the Claude ecosystem, and we are going to teach our coding agent to use skills. So I'm going to create a new file here. We've got our file system, our path, our work directory from our config. We're going to create this .skills directory, and we've got our interface. I'm going to export our class of SkillLoader. It's going to track skills, which will be a record of string and skill. Set up our constructor. We'll create that directory if it doesn't exist. And we're going to loop over everything in that directory. So we're reading the skills directory, and we're going to check to see if first it's a directory. So we only want to look in directories. The structure is going to be, we've got .skills, and inside of that we have folders for each of the skills, and inside of each of those they have to have a skill markdown file. So if not entry.is directory, continue. Otherwise, we're going to go find that skill file name, and then we're looking for skill.md. So if we don't have that, we'll just continue on. Otherwise, we're going to get the text from that guy. We're going to extract we're going to separate the Frontmatter from the content. So we're going to have this.parse Frontmatter method here in our class. We'll just pass it that text. So we'll make that in a second. Now what we got to say is name equals, from the meta, the name field. Otherwise, that'll just be entry.name. And then we say this.skills name is equal to the meta and the body. Okay. So let's do this parse Frontmatter guy. Just going to return a skill. Let's drop this in there. I didn't make this up. I copied that from somewhere. It's a way to get the elements to get that section of text at the top of the markdown file. So say if not match, and then we'll just return meta is an empty object, and body is just the text. And from the match, we'll get the raw meta and the raw body. So const meta is an empty object. And now we'll just loop over the lines of that raw meta. And then name and description are really all we need, and they should be separated by like it should say name, colon, and then the name of the thing. So that'll be our key, and then the rest. So if we have a key and the rest has a length, we'll say meta, we'll trim that key, and then this will equal, we'll join that guy, and we'll trim it. We'll have our meta be the record of string, and then we'll just return that. So meta and body will be our raw body, and we'll trim that as well. Okay, moving on. We're going to have a getDescriptions method. The way we're going to use that is when we initialize our system prompt, we're going to let it know about any existing skills that might be in place. So we'll say const entries is equal to object.entries, this.skills. And if we don't have any of those, we'll just return no skills available or something. Otherwise, we're going to loop through those. We'll get the name and the record, and we'll return the name and the meta description. And we'll just join those back together. with a line break. Okay, last one, getContent, taking the name, return a string. The skill is from skill's name. If we don't have a skill, we'll throw an error. Otherwise, we'll return nice long string explaining the skill. Okay, so we loop through our directory, build up all the skills. We're using this parse Frontmatter to break that out. We've got this getDescriptions, which we're going to feed into our system prompt, and then getContent for whenever we need to grab an individual skill or have it read one of those skills. I'm going to jump over to our tools. We're going to import our SkillLoader. We're going to say skills equals new SkillLoader. We're going to get our descriptions out of the SkillLoader. Come down here to our tools. And right after this task get, let's see if this guy's doing a good enough job. I do like that. I'm going to update this to load specialized knowledge by name. The schema is okay, and the execute. We might want to log some stuff out here, but for the most part, this looks like what we need. All right, so you'll notice that I exported the skill descriptions here. We're going to jump back over to our index. And from our tools, we're also going to get those skill descriptions. And right after this guy, we're going to say use load skill for specialized knowledge. And then here are the descriptions that are available to it. So I think that's all we need. We're going to try this out. What skills do you have? So we can see it created the skills directory, but obviously it's going to be empty. So cool. It came back and said there's called it skill get, which I'm fine with, but originally I wanted to call that skill load. So let me just update skill get. Okay, so obviously it doesn't have any skills, so we're going to create a skill. So I'm going to create a new folder here. I'm going to call it bun testing. In that, I'm going to have skill.md. And I don't know where I got this from, but here's a skill. It's got a name. I don't care about this invocable. I just care about the description and the content here. So now we're going to see if it knows about this skill. Cool. So it knows about bun testing. So let's come down here and I'm going to say use bun testing and create a test for, we'll say, todo.ts. Okay, I saw it reading the skill, reading the to-do file, and then writing a new file, and I can see todo.test has shown up. Got our little reminder guys coming up in the UI, but I'm not worried about that. Okay, so it claims that the tests are done. Seeing some squigglies in there, but let's just see. This is all working okay. It's just a biome thing. So I'm just going to run the test myself in a regular terminal. Hey, they're all passing. So it took a little while, I'm not going to lie. But we just taught it a skill. And at this point, there's no reason to think that I can't bring in a whole bunch of different skills, however I see fit. So I'm pretty happy with this. That is a solid step forward. We can just start bringing in skills that were meant for the Claude ecosystem into our coding agent.